Oh boy. All right, let me rope up my tail and then share some. All right. So, guys, I'm gonna put the heat back on me because it's gonna be on us all after Christmas when the Marburg virus has spread because everyone is opening themselves to it consciously. And this is where we are not promoting fear, but instead faith. So, what is fear? Fear is false emotion appearing real. What is this Marburg virus? You'll have to look into that. I'm not an expert nor scientist, and it's not my domain, nor do I even desire to go there. Because what I say is that we are alchemists. Our souls have went through everything that we did in this life and all of the previous incarnations that our soul has had as the light spark of God in us that cannot be created nor destroyed, only displaced, which means it has left previous bodies or forms in order for it to be able to incarnate in us now. My BS, belief systems. Take it, leave it, choose for yourself. My point. Fear is false emotion appearing real. So what that means is that when we get triggered in the moment and it's as if something small happened but a huge eruption takes place, why? Well, that's because we're getting hit with all of the suppressed, depressed, compressed, repressed, denied emotions that we didn't deal with previously that all show up in that moment when we have an eruption that is asking us to actually let those things go. Dis-ease is cellular disharmony within the body. So if we think about it from an energetic perspective, and I have heard from the teachings that the physical form is the last place where the dis-ease shows up, because first it shows up in the etheric, which is the energetic consciousness or the memory body, and then the emotional body, which is where we store the emotions, energies in motion that we have suppressed and stopped letting move, which is why then they show up in the mental frame and why mental health is such a huge thing now, because it's a trap and it keeps us out of our heart, which is where the resonant field actually allows us to feel what is in the field. And then the body is the last place where disease shows up. So, whatever is coming, we are strong enough so long as we are faithful, full of faith. What is faith? Faith is belief in us and our source. Where does our energy come from? How does your heart beat without your thinking about it? How does your blood pump through your veins without your having to do anything other than allow it to happen? It's because there is something greater than you that makes the unconscious aspects of you work so that you can be present in the moment where all your power exists. You have never lived in a not now moment. Think about it. But then feel into that. Once you move beyond that, okay, yeah, well, true. Like in the past it was now, and in the future it'll be now, and right now it's now. So now is all that there is. It's a multi-dimensional layer cake. Now is all that there ever has been, which means that we don't have to allow the reality, realistic evidence appearing legit in tomorrow's yesterday, that some would say will be our truth. It will be true for some. And there's a lot of evil in this world, which is literally the word live spelled backwards. So, when we understand that, and we understand how powerful we are when we are faithful instead of fearful, that then is when we can don the crown of wisdom, which is why the masters that we revere, because books have told us to, oftentimes are seen to have a golden halo, and angels too. Well, what is that? That is when the crown of wisdom is around and can be seen by others because it is so clean, because we have cleaned up ourselves. They have cleaned up themselves to be able to imbue that. And when I say selves, I do mean cells, for the cells of our being. We are soulful beings having a human experience. Human in the dictionary is sea monster, which is a creation. So in fact, are we human? Does a human have a baby, or is it a woman that has a baby? This is why we return to our proper status as men and women in our private capacity with all rights reserved, who must claim our right to stand as who and who we are, who and whose we are. My mind reverted to the fear-mongering around the military getting involved with rounding anyone who won't get the next injections because of the threat then that we pose to the safety of the whole. For they have changed the definition of herd immunity during the course of this pandemic, which is written by hands of men and women acting in positions. We were told years ago, we are all but actors on the stage of life, and it is true, except for you no longer have to act as anything other than you are. In fact, you must get back to who you truly are, which is a energetic being here to transmute all of the emotions that you didn't deal with in previous incarnations and this one, so that you could truly master yourself. And we are being tasked with mastery at a whole new level right now. The fear of what could be would consume some who felt isolated, which is part of the tactics here, right? So now that we know what is coming, and we also know our power is inside of us in this present now moment, that is when we start breathing together. We start breathing on our own. It's 9:42 in this moment. 42 is the number of spiritual transformation. It's a very powerful number. 9 is completions. We have an opportunity now to change what could be by choosing how we show up in this moment, which is what I always do my best to offer you with the videos that I do. So could they get me in trouble? Maybe. Could not doing them get me in trouble? Maybe. Maybe is one of my favorite tales. I'll save it for another day. You may have heard it previously. But either way, what I say is that you are powerful beyond measure. It is your light, not your darkness, that most frightens you. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, talented, gorgeous, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that others won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. And so with that, I bid you adieu and say, that was not me who said that originally. Marianne Williamson wrote it in A Return to Love. Many others have been attributed as the originators of it. And yet, does it matter? Maybe. We'll have that conversation very soon. For today, leave the fear out of the moment, except for when it shows up. Embrace it and honor those feelings that are letting you know there is unprocessed emotion that is ready to be reintegrated into you, the energetic system of you, okay? We don't need to fear our emotions anymore, even though culturally, the cult you rally with, accepted BS, belief systems, has been suppress it, deny it, pretend it doesn't exist, push it away, think positive, make affirmations, which I'm not saying those things are bad, but on their own, they don't work. If you're saying one thing, but then you're repeating it in your own head, thinking the thing that you are trying to say, I don't believe that, but you're repeating it to yourself way more, those affirmations won't do anything until backed with emotions, and we have to actually feel through the discomfort in order to get to a place of having faith in what we say. For the sacred word, the spoken word, is the sword that will cut us free from all limiting BS if we are willing. So 10:10 was when I said that and when I was born. So with that, now truly I do bid you adieu. Laura J. Namaste, namago.